Deep in the remote mountains, there was once a small village called Dunvel. One day, it simply vanished. No ruins, no traces, no explanation. What happened to the people who lived there remains one of the world's greatest mysteries. Today, we step behind the true mystery to uncover the secrets of the vanished village.
Far from the world's main roads, surrounded by forests that turned golden in autumn and valleys that rang with birdsong in spring. No one paid much attention to it. 30 houses, a church with a crooked steeple, a small market where farmers sold bread, cheese, and apples. A simple life, ordinary people, ordinary days. But then, it was gone. Travelers who had passed through Dunvel one year returned the next, and where the homes had once stood, there was nothing. Just grass, empty fields, no ruins, no broken stones, no collapsed timbers, not even a nail in the dirt. The village had not been destroyed. It had been erased. At first, people refused to believe it. Villages don't just vanish. But when they rode down the winding mountain road to the place where Dunvel should have been, all they found was silence. The roads were gone, overgrown with wildflowers. The wells were filled. The market square was a patch of grass, and the church with its crooked steeple, its bell that had called out across the valley for generations, was nowhere to be seen. It was as if Dunvel had never existed. But there was a problem with that idea. In the towns nearby, there were records, names of men and women born in Dunvel, marriage licenses, baptisms, trade documents. The villagers were real. The place had been real. The records were clear. But not a single photograph of the village remained. Not in albums, not in town archives, not in the hands of travelers who swore they had been there. Every image of Dunvel had faded, all at once. That was when the stories began. Some whispered that the government had erased the village, bulldozed it overnight as part of some secret experiment, and silenced anyone who lived there. Others claimed the villagers had all joined a cult and left together, abandoning their homes to the wind. But the old hunters in the mountains told a darker story. They spoke of a fog that came down from the peaks in certain seasons, a fog that moved against the wind, a fog that whispered. They said if you breathed it in, it filled your head with voices, and those who wandered into it never returned. For decades, no one dared to settle in the valley again. Maps were redrawn, the name Dunvel scratched away. The road became little more than a track through the trees. But still, the legends grew. Locals said that on quiet nights, if the moon was bright, you could hear church bells ringing from the empty valley. Not loud, not clear, just faint chimes drifting through the fog. Many dismissed it as imagination, but some who swore they heard the bells disappeared themselves. In the years that followed, Dunvel became a forbidden place. Parents warned their children never to go near the valley. Travelers marked it on their maps only to draw a heavy X through it. The land lay silent, untouched, as if waiting. But curiosity is a powerful thing. In recent decades, hikers and explorers have returned, armed with cameras and GPS. They report that the valley feels heavy, as though the air itself is pressing down. Birds fall silent there. Dogs refuse to enter. Some hikers describe the strange sensation of being watched, though the valley is empty. And then there are the most unsettling accounts. Some say that when the fog rolls down from the mountains, it doesn't behave like normal mist. It curls around trees like fingers. It clings to the skin. It moves with purpose. And if you stand there long enough, watching the fog, you begin to see them. Faces, dozens of them, human faces, pale and silent, staring from the mist. The hikers who tell these stories never stay long. Some leave the valley in silence and never speak of it again. Others try to explain it, illusions of the eyes, tricks of light, imagination. But deep down, they know what they saw. Today, Dunvel exists only in whispers. Historians dismiss it as rumor, a story grown wild with time. But the records still remain. Names of men, women, and children who lived in a village that no longer exists. And if you ever find yourself in that part of the mountains, the locals will warn you. Stay away from the valley when the fog drifts down. Do not listen for the bells. Do not stare too long into the mist. Because Dunvel may be gone, but perhaps not everything that once lived there has vanished. Perhaps they are still waiting, watching, just beyond the fog.